Good morning, Flagler County, and welcome to Veterans on Point, a WNZF radio show developed in mind for our county's beloved and respected veterans population and anyone else listening via internet or podcast. I'm your host, David Lydon, the Flagler County Veterans Services Officer, and of course, I'm here with my friend and colleague at the office, Eric Flores. Good morning, Eric.
Good morning, Dave, and good morning to all our listeners, our viewers out there, and I hope, like always and every week, that everybody's doing well health-wise and enjoying the weather that we have, cooling down a little bit. I know we got some rain, but it's well needed, and I hope everybody's doing well.
If you're lucky enough to live in Flagler County, you're lucky enough. Just like our members of our League of Loyal Listeners with Billy Jones, still hanging in there up at San Cyr. He gave me a call this week and said I'm making him a star with all the mentions that we talked about last week. And I said, you know, you love it, Billy.
Oh yeah, he don't miss a beat.
Don't act like you don't love the attention. So thank you, Billy. Thank you for being out there. And he's my liaison to and ears and eyes to San Cyr. Everything that goes on there. So
indeed. Thank you, sir.
And as we talked about last week, pretty much at length, it's a great facility. They take good care of veterans. So.
Indeed.
And, of course, Navy Master Chief Dan and his wife, Kay, are up there at San Cyr, too.
Good morning, shipmates.
We're going to have to check in with them soon, see how they're doing. Jeff Kingdon, our woodworker pal, U.S. Marine, and in the last few weeks of his reign as the Flagler County Veteran of the Year.
Yes.
He's another loyal listener, of course, and a occasional co-host.
Oh yeah. Good morning, Jeff, and like I told you before, shine that crown because we're gonna give it away next year.
We've got we're gonna have a new Veteran of the Year, and of course we'll be announcing that on November 11th, which is Veterans Day, and we'll talk more about that later. And we got Talking Tom as a listener, and Charlie Hanger and his wife Jenny. And Charlie didn't give me a text about the Queen of Hearts raffle or card, whatever they call it.
He mentioned it's about, 7,000 the last time that he spoke with us, but should be probably 8 now.
It was getting up there at almost 9,000, I think.
Oh, man.
He said so. But he didn't, they had a drawing the night before we do our recording here. And so, Charlie, you didn't give me the info, so. Hopefully, as we're talking here, maybe somebody won. Maybe the prize is bigger. So keep in touch, or stop by the VFW at 47 Old Kings Road North and find out. And who else we got here? Dennis Bird, of course, and Dennis is heading up he's a U.S. Navy vet, and he heads up the Guitars for Vets. And we've got James the Mail Maid. He's always listening. Thank you, James.
Thank you,
Frankie Sr., Frankie Jr. Can't forget Frankie Jr. He's up there with one of the number one listeners too. So thank you, Frankie Jr.
Thank you, guys.
And Bicycle Frank, I believe he's still tuning in.
Yes, I saw him yesterday going home again.
Wow.
He was carrying.
You got Bicycle Frank radar.
Yeah, almost every evening when I head home. So he was carrying. Looks to be one of the chairs that you put under a desk, like a computer desk. Uh-huh. And I guess it fell from his bike or from the carriage in the back, and he was tying that.
He's towing a chair.
Towing a chair, yeah.
I wonder who he's delivering it to.
I have no idea. He was going west.
And another loyal listener, I think he's a loyal listener, he ducked his head in this week and said, he likes the show. He thinks we do, we bounce back. Eric and I work together good on the show, and he's one of Eric's shipmates, but I don't have his permission to use his name. So if he's in the area again, he wants to let us know. We can mention his name on the radio. That'd be fine.
Yeah.
But thank you for listening. Thank you for the feedback. He did give us some nice feedback.
Thank you, sir.
Week. And where was I going with that?
I want to say thank you to Jeff again. We were invited to a birthday party of a Korean War vet. He turned 100-year-old. And we have the American Legion VFW riders there. And Jeff put a pretty good presentation, in front of his family. So, Jeff, thanks a lot for what you did last Saturday.
Jeff has been a remarkable Veteran of the Year And I know he doesn't do it just because of that. He does it because he's got a love for um, other veterans. And so thanks, Jeff. I know what I wanted to say, and that's happy birthday this week to the United States Navy,
Oh yeah.
October 13th. And my colleague here, U.S. Navy veteran. So happy birthday to the Navy, Eric.
Happy birthday, Navy.
All right. So Massage by Natalie and Company. We can't forget to mention them. You know, they're at 386-227-7499 is their phone number. They're located at 4871 Palm Coast Parkway Northwest, Suite 1 in Palm Coast, of course. And that's for everybody, but for our veterans who come in complaining about their achy, breaky knees and backs and bones, and try out Massage by Natalie, 386-227-7499. And they are, they're sponsors of the podcasts here on WNZF, and we thank them for that. Eric and I are your Flagler County Veteran Services officers. We're at 1769 East Moody Boulevard in Bunnell. That's the Government Services Building, first floor. Walk past the big desk as you come in the front door. Walk down the hallway. Before you get to the back door, we're on the right-hand side, room 108. Give us a call if you need an appointment with some help with your VA claims or some other business that might be your Defense Finance Accounting Service questions, help with establishing your login.gov accounts, whether it's service-connected disabilities, non-service-connected pensions, burial benefits, education benefits, healthcare benefits. You want the information. That's what we're there to help with. And we're going to get to some planning your legacy. If VA's pushing out a new...
Don't be like one of those veterans that show up in our office saying, "Oh, I did not know that you guys exist." Come on, guys.
Which just happened a little while ago. So.
Yeah.
So anyway, but first we're going to tell you about the 34th President of the United States. Of course, you know that for the last few months we've been highlighting each week a President of the Week. And this week is no different, and it's Dwight D. Eisenhower, fondly known as Ike. He served as the 34th President of the United States from 1953 to 1961, leaving an indelible mark on American history. While his role as the Supreme Commander of Allied forces during World War II and his presidency are well documented, several lesser-known facets of his life reveal the depth of his character and legacy. Born on October 14th, 1890 in Denison, Texas, Eisenhower was raised in Abilene, Kansas, in a modest household. One intriguing fact is that he was the only president to have been licensed a pilot. During his military career, Eisenhower earned his pilot's license in 1939, a rare achievement for someone of his rank at the time. His interest in aviation extended to his presidency, where he championed the expansion of air infrastructure, including the Federal Aviation Act of 1958, which laid the groundwork for modern air traffic control. Eisenhower's lesser-known passion for painting also highlights his multifaceted personality. After retiring from public life, he took up oil painting, creating over 260 works, mostly landscapes and portraits. He once remarked that painting was a way to relax, though he humorously downplayed his skill, calling himself a Sunday painter. Some of his works are displayed at the Eisenhower Presidential Library, offering a glimpse into his private life. Another surprising fact is Eisenhower's early opposition to the use of atomic bombs. As a military leader, he expressed reservations about the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, believing they were unnecessary for Japan's surrender. This perspective, rarely highlighted, shaped his later Atoms for Peace initiative, which promoted the peaceful use of nuclear energy and influenced global nuclear policy. Eisenhower's presidency also saw the creation of the interstate highway system, but few know that his inspiration stemmed from a grueling 1919 cross-country military convoy. As a young officer, he experienced firsthand the deplorable state of the American roads, taking 62 days to travel from Washington, D.C. to San Francisco. This experience fueled his vision for a national highway network transforming American infrastructure and commerce. On a personal note, Eisenhower was an avid golfer, but he once banned squirrels from the White House lawn because they dug up his putting green. This quirky anecdote reveals his lighter side, endearing him to those who knew him beyond his public persona. Eisenhower's legacy is a blend of military prowess, strategic leadership, and quiet passions. These lesser-known facts, his pilot's license, his painting hobby, nuclear stance, infrastructure, inspiration, and squirrel feud paint a fuller picture of a president who balanced global responsibilities with personal quirks, shaping America in ways still felt today. Quote of the week is from President Eisenhower. The supreme quality for leadership is unquestionably integrity. Without it, no real success is possible, no matter whether it is on section gang, a football field, in an army, or in an office. That's President Eisenhower. So I think he was a man of integrity.
I think he was. I didn't know anything about his passion for painting, but I heard about.
I didn't either. Yeah,
him opposing or against the nuclear bomb in Hiroshima, and I saw that in a documentary.
I think besides his role as Supreme Allied Commander, I think the Eisenhower Interstate System is most famous
yes.
achievement. Everybody,
yes.
Most people, at least the people from I don't know about the kids today, but the people from our era remember that, and before. So that's the point of the show, folks, where I say, drivers, the DAV is seeking volunteer drivers to take veterans from their homes to their VA appointments, whether that's at a medical center like in Orlando or Gainesville, or at a VA clinic like in Daytona Beach or St. Augustine, or a community care network appointment that's been set up by the VA. So, if the VA can't accommodate your appointment, where they send you out into your local providers that are in the VA's network, or a service-connected disability compensation and pension exam. Those are all eligible for DAV transportation. Give the DAV Chapter 86 a call at 386-439-2122. That's 386-439-2122. They're located at 27 Florida Park Drive in Palm Coast. Commander is Larry Ricart, and they are there to provide that transportation, but they also need volunteers. They got to keep that list of volunteers strong, and so give them a call, find out how to volunteer. You do not need to use your own vehicle because, well, the VA doesn't want you to do that. They have vehicles for that purpose for liability, obviously. You do have to be insurable, and you do have to have a physical and a background check. So give them a call, 386-439-2122.
Larry said they're about to get another vehicle, correct?
They're working on getting a fourth vehicle.
That's
so they
great.
can keep everybody getting to their appointments. Flagler Veterans Day Parade.com. That is how you register to be part of the parade this year, which of course is on Veterans Day, November 11th. That is a Tuesday this year. Parade starts at 10 o'clock, and it steps off at 10 o'clock, but you got to be there around, between 8 and 9 to get lined up, of course. And that lineup is down at the old Coquina building in Bunnell in the vicinity of Route 1 and Moody Boulevard. When the parade kicks off at 10, it's going to go 3/4 of a mile east on Moody Boulevard and file into the Government Services Building area, where we will have out front of the Government Services Building our Veterans Day ceremony, where we will acknowledge and thank our veterans. And we'll have Dave Freeman, Lieutenant Colonel, United States Army, retired, as our guest speaker. He's also going to be the parade Grand Marshal. And we're going to have some food afterwards. So, we hope you'll be out there for that. Eric?
Reserve that day, guys. It's just one day. Come on now. So put that day aside.
Yeah. I mean, you live in the blanket of freedom in this country, and it's been provided for you by all those who have served since 1776 and before.
Yeah, I have another a bad argument but a good argument with some friend of mine. Watching one of that was last year, watching one of those. I don't remember, it was a football game or whatever. They get up when they were singing the Star-Spangled Banner, national anthem, stuff like that. And I say, that is great, but I want to see you participate in everything that we do here in the county for our veterans.
So he stood up in the living room and put his hand on his heart on the TV.
Right.
But you didn't see him the next day at the Veterans Day ceremony when you invited him.
Right. That's what I want to see. So
Well, I guess some people, they get.
That is good. I like that.
Yeah.
But there's more than just standing. Help. Don't say you stand for veterans and you don't participate.
Well, that's you heard that, Mr. Friend of Eric. Be there this year.
Be there. Be square.
All right. So, we talked about the parade. We talked about our Grand Marshal and our guest speaker. There will be a new veteran of the year will be announced on that day too. So that's another good reason to be out there and to recognize that veteran of the year for Flagler County. You got anything on your list?
Yeah, don't forget about the Wreaths Across America this year. It's going to be in December 13. It's sponsored by the American Legion Post 115 here. If you want to sponsor a wreath, give them a call. I don't have their phone number, but you can give me a call. I put you in contact with them. Or you can go to the www.wreathsacrossamerica.org webpage and sponsor.
You can find your local,
absolutely,
your local organization, American Legion. I know there's going to be a ceremony at the Espanola Cemetery and at the Craig Flagler Palm Cemetery. I'm pretty sure this year.
Toys for Tots Charity Golf Classic. That's going to be in Palaca Golf Club. This is going to be Saturday, November 1st, 8 a.m. registration. 9 a.m. is the shotgun. So if you want to get a hold of them and participate, call at 720-474-7847. Garrett Decker.
Well, we get a lot of veterans that wonder where their claims are, what's the status of their claims, and whether the claim was granted or not. Well, recently in the news, there was a VA staffer who was accused of blindly approving over 85,000 disability claims. So, if you're one of those veterans whose claim got approved, and you're wondering how it was done so fast, well, this veteran was just rubber stamping. I'm not even reviewing the paperwork, so I don't know what the VA is going to do about it. But they are aware that it happened. According to the article, his supervisors knew he was plowing through these claims like nobody's business, approving claims, but they probably figured, well, he's knocking down the big pile of backlog, so we won't mess with him. Until the auditors found out. So again, 85,000 disability claims, rubber stamped, without even being reviewed. So
that's a lot of money. So if you're one of them, enjoy the money until they find you.
So, yeah, I don't know if how that's going to pan out, but that was in the news. But what we wanted to address this week, and because we keep getting people, and probably not going to stop anytime soon, but we get folks in the office on a regular basis who the death of a spouse, whether it's the veteran or the surviving spouse, becomes a surprise. And sometimes they become a surprise and tragedy, and sometimes you had plenty of years to know that the veteran was sick, had cancer and stuff like that, and plenty of time to plan, but for whatever reason, people put it off. They put off the planning. So the VA, I'm sure the VA knows this because they put out this letter that's going out to veterans recently. And there's a link in that letter that if you click on it, it'll bring you to a 24-page pamphlet called Planning Your Legacy, VA Survivors and Burial Benefits. And it's not just burial benefits. It talks about how to complete a service-connected disability claim or a pension claim, or even talks about the dependency indemnity compensation claims for surviving spouses. It talks about VA life insurance, and and then it has phone numbers and links for different, you know, different sources of information, and including to seek out county veteran services offices if you need help with filling out claims, which I recommend that you do if you're going to attempt this on your own. Now, once in a while, there are some folks that, they get it, they do it right, but a lot of times there's folks that probably could have used the service of a veteran service office like what Eric and I do. So,
I think it's that VA put a very well. This is a very well done packet, and if you see the page after the introduction, you say planning for the future.
mm-hmm.
People stop living day by day. We all need to plan. Do a little bit of planning for the future to avoid those things that we've seen.
And that includes finances.
Yes, I mean
Big
we'll
time.
see it happening
Big time.
every day. So we need to put a little bit of effort in planning for our future. Yeah, it's great to live day by day. But we also have to have a plan because things going to happen. It's
Like
not-
like the call I got yesterday, Eric, where now the veteran now has 3 different kinds of cancers, and his spouse, he's elderly. His spouse is up there in years, and she can't get him in and out of bed. She can't do any of that stuff. She needs in-home health care, but he's not they never registered him, or he never registered in the VA. So he can't go to his VA doctor and ask for in-home assistance. So they have to get him enrolled. That takes time, and you don't have time when you're laid up, you're sick, or you're going into hospice. You want to be way ahead of the game and get enrolled in the VA. You don't have to change anything you do with your outside health care. VA just becomes another resource. You have another primary care doctor that just does the VA stuff, and if you like the doctors you have in private care, but just go to the VA once a year, get your blood work done, meet your doctor, so that when catastrophic things happen, you have access to the VA. And they need access to the VA now. So what she's going to have to do now, and she called me yesterday, and this morning she said I couldn't handle it. I had to have the ambulance bring him to the emergency room. So now the next step, and he's not registered, but what she can do is arrange for him to be transported to a VA medical center, and they can't turn him away. They'll get him enrolled, and they'll start the process of taking care of him. But you don't want to have to do it that way. You want to be prepared.
and it's specific about, I believe, about your case. The sad thing about it is that they were at the office a couple of years back, so they knew about it back then because we always mentioned that.
That is true.
So even that we mentioned that a couple of years back, still up to date,
Yeah.
they didn't do it. I mean, VA have like you say, a lot of benefits out there. You can even enroll and have, if something happened to you, that you can opt out to have like a whole team going to your house, through the geriatric department. So, but like Dave said, you have to be enrolled in the system.
And to your point before, they had stretched themselves so thin financially by making all these improvements to their house and refinancing, to the point that their mortgage payment was so high that they had no money to help with in-home health care. So they were very dependent on what the VA can do, and the VA cannot answer everybody's challenge in the snap of a finger. So please, people, don't put yourself in this position.
Yeah, and I mean, we always mention that, especially to our elderly veterans customers, because we know what's going to happen. It's not that when, it's a matter of, I mean, it's not if it's going to happen or not, it's when.
Yeah.
It will happen.
So this nice pamphlet that the VA put out, it's got a some fill in the blank stuff where you can put in your historical information so that your survivor, they can go in that filing cabinet, pull it out, have all the information ready. The only thing I think they missed, Eric, that I think would have been important to have in here is what the service-connected disabilities that the veteran currently is rated for, so that
Very important.
So if he does pass away, the spouse can bring it to the funeral home and say, can you help make sure that one of these gets on the death certificate, because that will help with your survivor's benefit. So
they missed it, but we don't, because we mentioned that every time a veteran gets service connection.
Yeah, that's just one thing I would have liked that they would have added here. But we are down and below our 2-minute warning, and so because of that, I've got to, of course, let you know that no country and no state and no community does more for veterans than the United States of America, the great and free state of Florida, the wonderful Flagler County, the lovely city of Palm Coast, and all of our beautiful beach cities. Please be a victor, not a victim. Be educated, not indoctrinated. Think for yourself. And most importantly, be kind to someone today, or many someones. Get out there and help another person. You'll feel better about yourself for doing
Indeed.
that. So thank you for listening, and we'll be back with you next week.
Thank you, guys. And before I let you guys go, if you need a copy of this legacy package, just give me a call and give me your email. I can send you one. Take care. Thanks for watching our show.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.